Live stream here for U.S. Quidditch Cup 9 in Columbia, South Carolina. I'm Brad Woznicki, and I am joined once again by Mason Chamblee. And Mason, our matchup now, you're going to have New York QC taking on Boise State, and these are two teams that are in great shape. They both will be in bracket play tomorrow. Boise State 3-0 right now. New York QC 2-1. You know, you're looking at other possible teams trying to get out of Pool 5, UCLA, Sam Houston State, as well as Michigan State. Now, that should be a good battle for that third spot. Right now, Sam Houston in the best position with just a -10 for a point differential, and we are underway with this matchup. Down to our final three matches here on pitch one of day one of the U.S. Quidditch Cup 9. And New York QC gets on the board to make it 10-0. This is a team coming into U.S. Quidditch Cup 9 with a record of 16-4. This is their 6th year as a college program. Looking at tournaments they've competed in, the Keystone Cup, Northeast Regionals, Cat City Invitational, that was an unofficial tournament for them, and Knights Cup at Rutgers. Very strong beating core and good at driving to the hoops. And Mason, you had an opportunity to talk to Boise State non-player coach Kim Couch. Talk about her team and what you're expecting.
Well, looking at the records, they're 3-0, so they're obviously a solid team. But when I sat down to talked with her, she said they're looking good. They don't do anything special from the other teams. They just focus on fundamentals, executing their plays, and staying within their game plan. She thinks they match up well. I mean, she's talking about looking at other teams they've played in the pool and how they had a solid win over a team that NYU struggled against. So she thought that might help them match up well. But, I mean, you can never tell with that how teams translate. Also, she told me that they have a player who is just now in his second week of playing Quidditch. And so that's going to be very interesting to watch, see how he plays.
Second week and playing against the best of the best. And trying to get into bracket play tomorrow.
No better way to learn how to play.
New York QC finished in the Sweet 16 in last year's World Cup 8 in Rock Hill, South Carolina, about 50 to 75 miles north of us here in Columbia. Boise State won regionals. Only team that has beaten them during this season was the Crimson Elite, and Crimson Elite part of that Pool 4.
Yeah, part of a very strong, solid Western community.
Other tournaments Boise State has participated in: the Crimson Cup, the Top of Utah Classic, the Tree City Tournament, and the Northwest Regional Championship. Some high-level tournaments there when you say the Top of Utah and the Tree City Tournament as well.
Definitely.
2.5 minutes gone by.
But coming from the Northwest, I think, like some of the other teams, they can be underestimated. People see the Northwest as maybe the weaker division, not a strong competition. But Boise State's come out 3-0, playing tough. They proved that the Northwest aren't a bunch of pushovers. They're here to play.
Look at the footwork that time. I believe that was Brian Bixler scoring for Boise State to make it 20-10. The hot pink shoes sticking out.
Whatever it takes to stand out. I'm digging it.
You got the bright green shoes as well. Let's see if New York QC can try and even things up. And one correction, that was Brendan Bixler, number 7 for Boise State, scoring that second goal as we are now even at 20. 3.5 gone by.
Going off what you said earlier about NYU having a strong beating, or going off NYU having a strong beating core and good at driving to the hoops, that's always going to be something that you can lean on. If you can do well in beating and aggressive play, no matter how well or how faulty other parts of the game, you're going to be able to play well with anybody.
One of the great things I've really enjoyed about having pitch one today is the fact that they did a nice job of the scheduling, and the fact that we have not seen the same team twice on this pitch today, and that's been great for our viewers. You know, for everyone to be able to see the different teams, no matter the matchup. I mean, don't get us wrong. There has been some blowout victories today. You know, it hasn't been maybe the best matchups at times, but we've seen everyone.
Exactly.
When you got a total of 60 teams, it says a lot.
Just for these small programs that not many people hear of. You hear of Texas, OSQC, QC Boston, UCLA, some of the bigger programs. It's good for some of these smaller programs to get some recognition. Let's give it attention around the country because they do work hard just like the other teams.
And in our second to last match today, we're going to see Rain City versus Southern Storm. And that's a big match for Southern Storm, who's trying to advance their bracket play. Rain City in trouble at 0-3. LA Gambits and Texas A&M will be our final match. Two teams that we will see tomorrow.
I'm looking forward to that game. That should be a preview of bracket play.
And whistles blown as we have just gone over 5 minutes.
She's reaching for a card. Got him out of her pocket. See what happens.
A yellow card is being issued.
No signal yet, though, what actually happened.
I believe that was number 16. That is Haley Hudson. And for those of you continuing to follow the U.S. Quidditch Cup 9 schedule, we are about a half an hour behind. So if you're looking forward to the Rain City versus Southern Storm matchup, don't worry, we will have it for you here on the U.S. Quidditch live stream, as well as our final match of the day, LA Gambits and Texas A&M. Another score makes it 30-20. New York QC back in front. One of our young fans joining us in the broadcast booth there for a moment. We've had a great crowd on hand. You can only guess what the numbers have been. We have about 1,300 players.
Mm-hmm.
Some have guessed about 7,000 total in attendance today.
And that's good. What's really awesome is seeing young kids like that out here, which really bodes well for the future of the sport.
And Boise State trying to even this one up, dropping the broom, and this is trouble. New York QC scores. 40-20.
That was too easy. Just isolate the man up top ball carry. That was just too easy for NYU.
That was just, when dropping the broom, a big mistake right there.
Yeah.
6 minutes going by. Looks like substitutions being made for New York. As the sun starts to set here in Columbia. Match will have sunset around close to 8 o'clock. So it looks like we will have a match probably under the lights.
It's only fitting that one of the best games we'll have on the pitch today be under the lights. Right now, NYC has bludger control.
And that one denied. But getting a hand on it there was Kyle Carey for New York. Quaffle still in the hands of Boise State. Now loose on the deflection.
There are no bludgers right now surrounding the hoops of NYC. A lot of chaos in the bludger action.
Quaffle control for New York QC.
And you know, for fans that are just not getting into the game, it can seem like a lot to watch, and especially if you pay attention to the quaffle game. But for me, one of the most interesting aspects of the game to watch is the beater play, because it truly never stops. Even if quaffle play slows down, beater play is still going 110%.
And a dangerous and questionable decision that time, trying to throw that ball in front. Nobody home for New York. Approaching the 10-minute mark, 40-20 your score.
Look at this. I don't know if it's Boise State strategy or they just don't know how to approach NYC. They are playing extremely slow pace with the quaffle.
And again, you know, two teams that are going to advance to tomorrow. They're not going to give away too much. They're going to save some legs and keep everyone healthy.
Exactly. At this point, it's like two fighters kind of feeling each other out. Neither wants to go for that big blow. Both just trying to get to the next round. There's one thing you do not want right now is an injury.
Under 10 minutes, 40-30. Some Domino's Pizza just walked by us. Man, that sounds good right now. Say that.
Wow. Guess you might need to pause the broadcast right quick to get something.
We'll look up that number while you got a chance. I'll cover you.
Another score by Boise State.
We're even. Yeah, we're even at 40.
Seems like Boise State came to this game probably maybe a little overconfident. They're 3-0. I mean, they're good. And NYU showed up to play. Little stare down by 78 after getting beat in the face by Boise State. Uh-oh, this could be trouble.
Bludger playing in front. Boise State unable to go in front.
And NYU came away with it. They now have quaffle control.
Bludger control for Boise State.
I see what looks like our snitch for this game over there. I really hope he wears that bright yellow wig on the game.
And 50-40, New York QC retakes the lead after they had a 2-goal lead and gave it up. About 10 minutes gone by in this matchup. 50-50 now your score after the quick answer.
Still, both teams appear to just playing it slow, content, not doing anything dangerous, aggressive.
Approaching the 7-minute mark. Bludger play, trying to clear some real estate. Now Bludger's loose. Who's going to gain control of Bludger's? Quaffle loose behind the Boise State goal. Quaffle still loose. Now New York has it. Another Bludger loose right now, an opportunity here for New York QC. Trying to go back in front, denied. 2 players there for Boise State. One of those players right there for Boise State was number 14, Joel Johnson.
That's a great name.
Another JJ. We had a Joe Jackson earlier.
To be a star athlete, I honestly think you have to have a good name.
And referees confirming right now. Not quite sure what they're...
Another yellow card has been issued. Number 22, or excuse me.
22 heading to the bench right now. That is Jesse Gibson. Now player heading to the box.
Number 7.
That's Brendan Bixler. We saw score a goal earlier. 6.5 on the clock right now.
See what the referee decides. So NYU's going to have a pretty good shot, but the beater's staring him down.
And from behind the hoops, the score for New York QC. On that score, that was number 6. That was Zach Gindis, one of the team captains.
It's always great when your captain gets there to contribute, leading on and off the pitch.
Yeah, one of the leading scorers along with Kyle Carey.
Currently Boise State with budget control. Oh, they've just lost it.
From behind the hoops, and the answer for Boise State, we're even at 60. New York QC trying to answer. They do. Nice behind the back toss there. Just over the shoulder flip.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. Just throwing it up, getting rid of it, and teammate happened to be there for the score. A little more on that play. That was a great tackle from Boise State. That's something that I haven't seen just a whole lot of, is being strong tackling and being a physical score. It appears that people are just maybe going for more for the big hit instead of the form tackle, which you hate to see. You hate to see more form tackle, better principles, but it seems to be the way the game is moving.
Even at 70, to the score by Stu Driftlot. Inside of 5 minutes until the seeker floor. And the wig's still on for the Snitch from our angle.
I'm hoping.
And the athleticism to elevate and finish that one for Boise State. Try and give you a number on that here momentarily.
I believe the person that just scored is the one who's now just 2 weeks into his Quidditch play.
I believe not listed on our roster right now either. Approaching the 4-minute mark. Number 97, and so not on our roster for Boise State. 80-70, Boise State in front. I don't know if we've seen Boise State lead in this one. Unless it was very, very early, because we saw it was 40-20 at one point with New York QC in front.
They came out early and took the lead. This probably is Boise State's first lead. They may have had a lead earlier, 5-4, 50-40 over NYU. But this isn't the game they were expecting coming in. NYU's come in, fought hard, hung with them, looking to pull off an upset.
Approaching the 3-minute mark. Boise State on the attack. That one's good. Nice toss. That was number 21, Alex, nickname Messi Johnson.
Another misbeat by NYU.
This is where NIU's got to be careful here. You don't want to get out of snitch range.
Currently, NYU has no bludgers backing up their defense. They're to turn it over. It will be an almost guaranteed score for Boise State. Boise State's realized that, and they're pressuring the quaff with their bludger play now.
Nelson De La Cruz was able to recover the quaffle for New York QC. Approaching 2 minutes. Sun really starting to set, having the shadows on the field now.
That could could pose a problem soon. Mainly more for the defense.
For a team like Boise State, because of their bench, has been looking into the sun really the entire match. Long shot attempt.
And it's good.
100-70 snitch range. Right on that borderline right now.
Boise State could be starting to flex their muscles now, starting to pull away. They didn't come out explosive like NYU, but they've just hung in there. They've shown their depth and experience and just grinded away. And NYU appears to be they appear to be tired of the physicality in the play of Boise State.
And Boise State looking for one of those top seeds if they can go 4-0 coming out of Pool 5. Rochester United, a perfect 4-0 day.
But one of the big main things I've taken away so far from this tournament is the display of the great play from other regions, not just the Southwest and the West. Other regions have shown up. They've pulled off upsets. George Mason over Texas State from Mid-Atlantic. DCQC over Cavalry from the Southwest. DCQC from the Mid-Atlantic over Cavalry from the Southwest.
Bowling Green a perfect 4-0 day on day one.
From the Midwest, I mean, it's great to see these other regions show up and do strong play.
For Bowling Green, you look at their pool, maybe not the toughest pool. Boston University, Intensity, the Scroots, and Lock Haven. Point differential of 340 for Bowling Green. Woo. Approaching 20 seconds until the Seeker floor.
And the Snitch has the wig on. This will be interesting.
Inside of 10 seconds. 100 to 70 your score. Ledger play, clear some real estate.
Here they come.
And a little bit of a size advantage here for the Seeker.
Oh, that's a
and
pull.
Snitch catch immediately, and the stare down to the crowd. Number 25 for Boise State, that's Stu Dripline, and this one,
It's good.
it's over.
Wow.
One effort there, and it's done. Boise State, a 130 to 70 victory over New York QC. New York QC going to move on to bracket play tomorrow, but a perfect 4-0 day for Boise State.
Boise State's going to be looking good coming tomorrow. They should have a very good matchup, an easier opponent round one, and hopefully this will give them some momentum heading in there and they can make a deep run. Because I would love to see a team from the Northwest make a run into bracket play and establish some credibility for Northwest.
Make sure to stay tuned for our next match. Rain City going to be taking on Southern Storm. Southern Storm 1-2 right now. Rain City 0-3, but with 4 different teams in a possibility of trying to be one of the 3 moving on to tomorrow. That's a big match coming up in Pool 9. So once again, your final 130 to